Is it recording? Yeah, it's recording. Okay. Doofus. If you're watching this video, you're probably looking for the perfect introductory machine for either yourself or someone that you care about. So today, we're going to look at the two best budget options that we could find and see how they compare. Before we start putting these machines to the test, let's take a look at what each ATV brings to the table. Starting with the Tracker 300, it's powered by a 270cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder four-stroke engine, producing approximately 18 horsepower. Power is delivered through a CVT automatic transmission with high range, low range, neutral, and reverse. The Tracker uses a drive shaft and rides on a double A-arm front suspension with swing arm rear suspension. Suspension travel measures approximately 5 inches in both front and rear. The Tracker is 41.4 inches wide and has a 46.4 inch wheelbase, weighing in at approximately 517 pounds and offers 8.25 inches of ground clearance. When it comes to work capability, it can tow up to 500 pounds and carry 150 pounds on its racks. Tracker markets the 300 as a value-focused utility ATV designed for trail riding, hunting, farm work, and general property maintenance. Now let's look at the Kawasaki Brute Force 300. The Brute Force is powered by a 271cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder four-stroke engine, producing approximately 22 horsepower. Power is sent through a CVT automatic transmission with a high range, low range, neutral, and reverse, also utilizing a drive shaft system. For suspension, the Brute Force uses a double A-arm front suspension and a rear swing arm suspension with approximately 5.2 inches of front travel and 5.6 inches of rear travel. The Kawasaki is slightly wider at 42.5 inches and has a 45.9 inch wheelbase, weighs approximately 536 pounds, and offers 6.1 inches of ground clearance. Like the Tracker, it has a 500 pound towing capacity, but carries a total of 110 pounds on its racks. Kawasaki positions the Brute Force 300 as a compact utility ATV focused on durability, reliability, and all-around trail and work performance. So our overall conclusion on paper, the Tracker comes in lighter, offers more rack capacity, and provides over 2 additional inches of ground clearance. The Kawasaki counters with roughly 4 more horsepower and slightly more suspension travel. The Tracker is built around affordability and utility, while the Brute Force focuses on refinement and performance. But numbers on a spec sheet only tell one part of the story. The real question is, which one performs better when the trails get rough, the work gets tough, and the stopwatch starts running? Let's find out. Okay, you've got the rundown on both machines per their spec sheets, but how do they really stack up against each other? We're going to do a couple tests and figure it out. Before we get started, I'm going to let you know exactly what we're going to do. The first test, it's going to be a simple acceleration test. I would say drag race, but it's just me today, so we'll see how it goes with the timer not lining them up against each other. The second test we're going to do, it's going to be a timed woods loop. If you're like me and you love riding trails, there's nothing better than setting up a track and running time after time after time and seeing what machine and which one of your buddies is really the fastest. The third test is going to be the slalom test. It's going to focus on handling and agility. We're going to set up somewhere and kind of go between some obstacles and see how each one of the machines feels and what time they can make it in. Number 4, there's a very small hill climb on this property. It's pretty flat, but these machines are set for intermediate to beginner riders. So this hill I would consider to be a very beginner hill. So we're going to send both machines up that and see how they fare and how that suspension feels. Test number 5 is going to be the emergency handling and braking test. We're going to do 30 to 0. Most intermediate and beginner trail riders, if they hit 30 miles an hour in the trails, they're going pretty fast. In that test, we're going to measure the braking distance and how much confidence each one of these machines inspires under braking. And as a bonus number 6, we're going into the fun factor, because anybody could pick these machines up and have a blast, So I'm going to set up a small figure 8 course, and we're just going to run lap times and see how it handles. It's going to mix a little bit of everything from acceleration to braking to handling. So that should be a good way to finish off these tests, and then we'll come back and have our final review. Okay, first up, we've got the Kawasaki Brute Force 300. This is going to be the acceleration or drag race test. Obviously, it's just me, so we're going to just do an acceleration test. I've got the camera set up down a little ways. Should be enough for these machines to stretch their legs a little bit and see which one can get up to speed the quickest in drag race. Let's see what happens. All right. Now let's do the same thing with the tracker. Now we've got the Tracker 300 here. We're in position and we're ready to go with the same test. Ready? Go. It's hard to do by yourself. Doing a review on 2 machines, carrying a camera around, running around the property. For as much running as I do for these videos, you'd think I'd be in better shape. Okay, we have both machines lined up here, ready to go into the woods loop. I've got a predetermined track that we're gonna see how quick we can get both of these machines through. You should have seen by now the drag race times for each machine. I did the best run out of 3. This will be a best of 1 because it is a longer test and it's about to rain. So I am gonna hop on the tracker first and see what kind of time we can get. This will be the first machine tested through here, timed. We've brought plenty of machines through here as you've seen in videos, but let's see how we do. Ready? Go. Very tippy machine, holy cow. Tippy and bouncy. Tippy and bouncy. Just slide the rear end out a little bit. Come on. Two-wheeling. Oh, how do you kill an automatic? Takes skill, buddy. Hopefully that's not the determining factor. somewhat playful, not super playful by any means. Suspension, very plush. You can tell this is not made to be jumped or anything crazy, but it'll do it. As long as you're not trying to send it off a motocross track, get a hit little backyard jump. You just might bottom out a little bit. Here's where that top end really starts to pull. Oh, bottom out again. Okay, next up, same course, Kawasaki Brute Force 300. Let's see what happens. Ready? Go! It's already immediately apparent. This is far more playful in the rear end. I will say, I wish this little twist throttle thing did not exist. Because it is a humongous pain, constantly jittering and jerking your hand around. I don't like it. Break loose, it feels great. And there's others that you just get nothing but traction. Yeah, definitely more bumps here on the Kawasaki. Really stretch his legs out here. got to be relatively close. This definitely, let's get off and we'll talk about it, shall we? Okay, immediately after the XC trail loop situation, without knowing the times, because I haven't looked at the footage yet, I'm immediately going to say that the brute force in this test did slightly better. I also, without knowing the times of the drag race, am going to give it to the brute force. But all the times are going to pop up on the screen, so you guys will know the actual numbers. But seat feel, right now I think the brute force is ahead when it comes to true performance, even with the slightly less suspension travel and everything. I really do believe that this is going to end up coming out on top so far. Now, that being said, the tracker is not a slouch by any means. I think top end speed, this machine takes the cake. But it's a little too plush almost to ride it aggressively. This, I think, caters more towards the work environment, but we're not done yet. We got a couple more tests, so let's get back into it. Next up, going to be the slalom test. So I don't really have any cones or anything, so we're going to come through here and we're just going to be playful with it and see how it feels. I'm going to start the slalom at the Kawasaki. Definitely does not like it. Very tippy. Extremely tippy, in fact. Now I'm going to place the tracker at the same location, roughly. And hit a machine swap. Same situation here. Gonna start the slalom at the tracker. It definitely does not like the hard turns. It is picking up the sides quickly. So I will say, in an evasive turn situation, the tracker is actually a little more planted because of that soft suspension. It almost trophy trucks, where it keeps three wheels on the ground and picks one up, where this one feels like it is constantly ready to tip in those types of situations. That's interesting. Huh. Okay, let's try a braking test. Ready, set, go. About 30 and brakes. Okay, that wasn't bad. 30 to 0 was not bad. Do the same thing. Let's do it on the tracker. Same test from the same starting location. Ready, set, go. Oh, definitely brakes go to the brute force. I'm quite a bit ahead of where the brute force was. I would say these things are extremely comparable, honestly. I can understand why people would compare these machines, because if you told me I had to pick one in the beginning, I don't know. They both have things they do extremely well, and they both have things that the other does better. None of them has done anything bad per se. It's just one slightly edges the other out. So it's interesting how all these are gonna come in at the end with the times and everything. Okay. This is kind of what I'm thinking on the hill climb test. Excuse me while I get devoured by mosquitoes. There's a pond right there, so if I fail, it goes in pond. Terrible for me because I'm gonna have to buy my friend a new four-wheeler, but great content. This is not a major hill. It has some incline to it. It's very rutted and dippy and off camber and weird. This is what I would consider to be like a beginner hill climb. It's not horrible. So let's get over here. Give her a little bit. Oh yeah. There's that off camber. It's not bad. I will say that the soft suspension on this, on stuff like that, is awesome. At like a lower rate of speed, it is super comfortable. Super comfortable. Any hard G-outs or sudden hard edges, it's a little tougher. Not so comfortable on those. But when it comes to comfort, just standard trail riding, not really trying to push a pace, this definitely has an edge in that category. But will that translate over into the final test? A fun factor. We'll have to see in a minute. But in the meantime, I'm going back, get the Kawasaki, going back to the small little hill climb locations, and we'll see which one feels better. I don't know how good it's going to show on camera, but okay. Again, same location as before. I even have the same bush tickling me in the arm. So, same test, same area. See how this one fares. I imagine it's going to be slightly less comfortable, but perform and do the task better. But let's see what happens. Oh yeah. I know I went a different way, but I was down here right. So after that, I was definitely right. The tracker was more comfortable, but did not handle the obstacle as well. While the Kawasaki, off that little booter right there shows, it can handle the hard edges and the sudden impacts with its stiffer suspension so much better. Again, it comes back to just the difference in suspension, and I believe the numbers will reveal that the Kawasaki has more get up and go, probably 0 to 40, probably 40 to 50 and up. I would say that the tracker pulls, but it's hard to say without another first year to drag race with. Just butt feel. That's how it feels. And even in that small dip, through the little creek dip right here, I really only have to lift because there's a pile of sticks right there and I don't want this utility to tip. This eats up the bumps so much better. There, where it's washed away, you've got like a little kicker at the end comfortable until you get speed. And then it feels less confident. Okay, so to the best of my ability as a one-man show today, I've put these through the test. I might not have gotten to do everything I wanted to do, but the movement of rain coming in quickly and the lack of another person to move four-wheelers around has made this extremely difficult. Nonetheless, I had an absolute blast. But we're going to do one more thing, and it's that bonus test we talked about in the beginning. I've devised something that looks like a lot of fun. I might flip over. I don't know. Based on the slalom test, the Kawasaki makes me a little nervous now. But we're going to do a little figure eight around some brush piles, and you guys are going to get to watch the chaos because I imagine I'm going to be up on two wheels a lot. Let's get a good shot of this. So when I fall over, it's on camera. Okay, fun factor test on the tracker. We're gonna hit it first. We're gonna go into this brush pile, go around the big one, through the middle, back around, and follow that in a figure eight pattern, and hopefully not flip over. But this should be fun. Let's go. Fun factor test. Oh, it might be a little too tight for the utilities. Okay. Blooper reel. That's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. We're gonna have to figure out another test because I'm gonna die if I try that again. I'm gonna try it on the Kawasaki, see how it goes, and if that doesn't work, we're just gonna go play in the woods a little bit and get some cool camera shots. Okay, yeah, it's not gonna work. Fun factor is indeed there. The torque on the Kawasaki makes it a lot more fun. The low end isn't there on the tracker for this, but this at least will use its torque to play around more. Let's just go into the woods and do fun stuff and get footage. Sound good? Sounds good. Be right back. Hopefully it looks cool. decided that the test kind of got run a little short. The lack of an additional person really put me on a good time constraint with the weather coming in. So I'll see you guys on the next ride. Peace. YouTube.com.
I stand outside the echo with silence in my chest. The world is burning slowly. I can't just let it